of all, what is NoSQL? A fast, portable and open source RDBMS. Okay, it is open source, a derivative of the RDB database system based on the operator stream paradigm. So basically NoSQL will be operator stream paradigm. Operator stream means you will operate, and when you will fetch the data, you will get a stream of data. So that's why it is known as operator stream paradigm. And the last line, one common interpretation of NoSQL is not only SQL. So if you search in the internet, you will get two words for NoSQL. One is not only SQL, one is non-relational SQL. So I will tell you not to use this word, not only SQL. It is not good. Okay. Mostly try to use this word, non-relational. So NoSQL means non-relational. But in some books also you will get this word, not only SQL. Okay, but don't try to use this word. You should use this word, non-relational. Okay. So, okay, one thing I want to tell you. So some basic questions, okay, like this. What is the difference between RDBMS and NoSQL? This type of question might come in your SEM. You don't have to go to detail, but some basic question might come. What are the different types of NoSQL? So I will show you. So this type of question might come in your SEM. And one thing I have already done. So in you can go to Teams. In B4 I have already uploaded NoSQL.pdf. So you can directly download from here. Okay, I will forgot. That's why I have told. Okay, so what is the why? Yes, do you want to tell something? Okay, do you want to tell? No. Okay. So what? So do you want to tell anything? I got a mic sound. That's why I'm telling. Anybody want to tell anything? No. So we can continue. So what is the difference between RDBMS and NoSQL? So NoSQL is a non-relational database management system different from traditional relational database management system. So it is different from traditional database management. It is designed for distributed data stores where very large scale of data storing needs. So I have given you example for Google, Facebook. You can think of Amazon. Their databases are huge. So in internet, their images are available. So if you want to know, you can search Google database, their databases and servers. Facebook, for Amazon, these are publicly available in Google. So you can search about them. This type of data storing may not require fixed schema. Okay. So for NoSQL, you don't need fixed schema. They will avoid join operation and they will typically scale horizontally. So I will tell you what is horizontal scaling, what is vertical scaling. I will tell you. So first of all, what are the properties of RDBMS? Structured and organized, you know. Structured query language, we have to use SQL or MySQL or like this. Data and its relationships are stored in separate tables. So it will use data manipulation language, data definition language, and it have tight consistency. Okay. So what are the, you know about this. Right now, what are the properties of NoSQL? Stands for not only SQL or non-relational SQL. So try to use this word, non-relational SQL. No declarative query language. So here there will be no declarative query language, means you will not declare anything by front. That means here we will use JSON syntax. So those who know JSON, it will be easier for them. If you don't know, we will learn. So that's not an issue. So here we can't use any declarative query language. We will use JSON query language. Sorry, not JSON query language. We will use query through JSON language. JSON
Sir,
is not, yes.
sir, like in NoSQL, is the data always stored in JSON format, or is there any other format also?
Yes, there are different types of format we will show, but most popular is MongoDB, and it will give you JSON. It will take only JSON format syntax.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so we will show you there are different types of options, but MongoDB is the most popular. That's why JSON is most popular. And if you ask about my experience in PhD, I will show you which type of thing I have taken. There we have used JSON query language and MongoDB. It will be easier to handle. Okay. So mostly there are 4 types of NoSQL. One is key value pair, one is column store, one is document store, and one is graph databases. Basically, I have done work in graph databases. Okay. Eventual consistency rather ACID property. So in transaction, I think you have gone through, you know about ACID, atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. So eventual consistency rather ACID property. NoSQL will support unstructured and unpredictable data. So this is most important, unstructured. So image is one type of unstructured. So I have given you example of I want to store newspapers. So text, huge text. These are unstructured, and unpredictable means after 2 years say management students, oh, sorry, management not, say medical students came. So their course structure is for 5 years. So unpredictable data you can store. Prioritize high performance, high availability and scalability. So first question will come, what are the different examples of NoSQL? So the list is huge, and I have taken those names which are publicly available. There can be more names. Why huge number of NoSQL databases available? Because first of all, it is open source, so anybody can get the code. Second thing is that when a new startup will are coming regularly, they have tried to make their own NoSQL databases. That's why this list is huge. So it's impossible to know about each and everything. I am also not known, and I think nobody is interested about all these databases. But there are some popular ones, and if possible, you should know about these popular ones. So let's start from above. So the popular one are HBase. Okay. So those who want to work in big data or big data companies, they have to work with HBase. So you know about Hadoop. I don't know you have heard about this or not. So Hadoop will work with big data. Okay. So Hadoop, in Hadoop you will get HBase database. Okay. So it is very important. You should know these names. When you will join any companies, these names will help you. Yes, I have heard about this. Next, the next one is cloud data. This is important. Car-tree, this one, car-tree. It is used for storing huge amount of tree. Big data. So big data is the not big data what we know. Big data is the name of an NoSQL database. So I don't know about this one. You can come here. Big table. This is also important for storing huge amount of tables. You can use big table. Okay. Then from here is Neo. There will be Neo 4 and there will be Neo 4J. Here it is Neo 4. Okay. So Neo 4 and another one is Neo 4J. These are also very much popular. Then this one Scalaris and Kai. Okay. So Scalaris, Kai, DynamoDB. These are important. Now you can come to this one, MongoDB, the most popular, and today we will discuss about MongoDB. So one duplicate version of MongoDB is also there. This one is known as, you can see here, MO8ONDB. So it is a duplicate version of MongoDB. So this type of thing also happened. Now, by which one I have worked personally? So this one is here. One is NetworkX, one is iGraph. These are used to store social network data, okay, or any network data. So I have worked in social network. So you will get NetworkX and iGraph. And here I want to mention another thing. Those who want to work in Python, this NetworkX package is existing. So you can download or you can include this NetworkX package in your Python. So NetworkX, iGraph, these are used for storing huge graphs. I have worked in social network graphs. So these are also very important. And from here, Cloudera, this is important, Cloudera, and I don't know about other ones. So I have told you about 4 or 5 databases. The most popular one is MongoDB, and those who works in social network, for them NetworkX, iGraph, and HBase, Cloud Data, and Bigtable. Okay, these are used in big data projects. So these are important NoSQL examples. Now another theory question is coming for you. That is, what is scale in and scale out? So some people already know about this. So scale in means, now Bennett has say 1,000 students. After 2 years, it may have say 5,000 students. But after 20 years, it may have 50,000 students. Right now, how can you handle these huge number of students? And it is increasing regularly. So first solution which came in the mind, that is, we can increase our storage. So for storage and processing increment, we have 2 type of solution. One is scale in and one is scale out. So from the diagram it is also clear. Scale in means these are known as stack. Okay, so these are all stacks. In the stacks you can store more servers. So these are stacks, and in the stacks you can put more servers. So what it will do, it will increase your processing speed and it will increase your storage. So this is scale in. Now come to scale out. Scale out means, so this is vertical scaling. Scale in means this is vertical scaling. Now scale out means it is horizontal scaling. So these are your servers. What you are doing? You are putting servers in different locations. Different locations means it can be different geographical location. It can be in India, it can be in USA, it can be in UK, anywhere. So what you can do, you can store your data in different parts. So this is known as scale out. This is known as scale in. Right now we will discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of both of these. First one, why scaling is advantageous. First thing is that all the data will be stored in a particular area. Okay, so handling the data is very easy. Fine. The next easy thing is that here storage for you here, if you want to store say 1000 student, you need less capacity. But for scale out, you need more capacity. Why? For scaling out, we have to replicate the data. So for one particular record, we have to maintain at least in 3 parts. Okay, so this is the rule, thumb rule. For maintaining one data, you have to store it at least in 3 places. So scaling is easier. It is less costly. Scaling. What is scale out? Scale out, fast advantage. It is more secure. Why? Because your one server in India, one server in USA, one server in UK. So it is more secure. The second advantage is that when you want to fetch data from India, then you can fetch this server only. You don't have to this server or this server. Okay. So here processing speed can be much more depending on the algorithm. Now what is the disadvantage of this thing? So these are not disadvantage. We have made it advantage. I am telling you. So the important disadvantage of scaling out is it will work in 3 geographical location with 3 type of geographical clock, and also the hardware clock speed is also different. So they are staying in different geographical location, so their clock speed can be different and their geographical clock time is also different. So how to handle this? This is the most important question. The answer is when you study distributed database, then you will study different types of algorithms. These are distributed database handling algorithms. By this, we can manage clock speed and geographical clock location. So you can think right now, all the companies has shifted their database for scaling out, not for scaling in. So scaling in is the old process. Right now, all have gone for scale out procedure. Okay, so MySQL mostly use scale in and NoSQL mostly use scale out. So I got one question from one of your friend in any earlier batch that can we use NoSQL in scale in? Yes, you can use NoSQL in scale in fashion, but you will not get the advantage of NoSQL. So NoSQL is made for scale out. Okay, so if you want to make scale out, if you want to take the advantage of scale out property, you have to use NoSQL. So you can use HBase, you can use anything, MongoDB, you can use anything. Okay, so this type of questions may come for your SEM. One thing I want to mention here again, what is the current situation? So 2020 November, what is the current situation? Is companies are going for scaling? No probability, they are not going to it. These are the companies are going for scale out? The answer is no. Right now what they are doing? First of all, right now companies are not maintaining their own databases. What they are doing? They are hiring the cloud infrastructure. So think about, I am taking names, then it will be clear to you. Think about Amazon and Google will provide you cloud infrastructure. Okay, so you don't have to maintain your own database. So today I want to open one company. So I don't buy any database. What will I do? I will take some part of the Amazon cloud, say for example. Okay. Now, so I don't have to bother about these things. So I have taken from Amazon. Now go to think from the Amazon side, what they will do. So they have cloud infrastructure. So they will divide their according to scale out property. I am repeating my sentence again, just listen. So think about, this is your whole cloud. They will divide it into some part and they will not give you one chunk. They will give you some part from here, some part from here, some part from there. So what they are doing actually, they are using the scale out property within cloud itself. Okay, so this is the current situation. So what we are doing right now, so current situation is scale out property within cloud, and what we are learning, select star from student where this data is this. So you can ask me why we are not reading this type of thing, why we are trying to read traditional DBMS. Because when I will show you how MongoDB works, I will show you. Okay, so when you will see this, then you can understand each and every concept is taken from traditional DBMS. So traditional DBMS is the basic. Then they are facing some problems. First one, I have told, you can't use any image, you can't store text, your table should be predefined, schema should be predefined. So these are the problems. Data types are predefined, right? So these are the problems people are facing. Then they have made this NoSQL. So you have to learn about SQL. Then this concept will be also clear to you. Right now you can opt for anything. So
But
you
sir,
will get yes.
सर मतलब अगर हम इसको सिर्फ RDBMS को सिर्फ इसलिए पढ़ रहे हैं क्योंकि हमें जानने की इसके डिसएडवांटेजेस क्या है, तो मतलब फिर तो हम पीछे की फाइल सिस्टम और ये सब भी तो पढ़ सकते थे SQL के एडवांटेजेस जानने के लिए.
हाँ. Basically that is the thing. Basically you know about this thing. So file system, you know about these things. But to know NoSQL, you have to go through SQLs, right? So yes, that is a problem. So already that's why in syllabus some part of NoSQL is given. So what I can tell you, the old companies still now using NoSQL. So I am taking a name. I shouldn't take any name, but I am taking. Say TCS CTS. Do you know they haven't shifted to NoSQL? So your question will come, why they haven't shifted? All the companies, all the startups have been shifted. Why they haven't shifted? The problem is, the only problem is security. When you are hiring a cloud, then you have to depend on somebody. We know there are many secured algorithms are there, many things are there. When you will learn about networking system, then you will learn there are so many things. In cryptography, we are right now in a great stage, but till date you have to hire somebody and that is the problem when the problem of security will appear. Okay, so the small companies or the big giant, they are going for NoSQL, but the regular companies, they are still in SQL. One day, definitely after after 2, 3 or 5 years, they will also definitely shift to cloud and NoSQL. So when you have started your career in, when you have started your school, first day, do you have done calculus? Have you done? No. So first day you have studied what is 1 plus 2, how to calculate this. Then after certain period, you have understood, okay, these are old, bad mathematics, old mathematics, these are not mathematics, these are arithmetics. Now we will go for mathematics in higher studies. Same thing here. So we will in BTech, we will give you each and every concept. When you will shift to any company, they will not use SQL, they will not use MySQL. Each and everybody has their own database system. They will give you training for 1 month, 2 months, depend on their company policy. Then what you will understand, you know the concept, how to insert data. Syntax will be different, but the concept will be not different. How to retrieve data, how to join, concept will remain with you. Okay, so in the syllabus, we will learn you SQL and some part of NoSQL. Okay, then you will understand, okay, this is the concept. When you will go to any company, you can adopt. What they will adopt, you can adopt it also. Okay, so the thing is clear, what we have learned, what is scale in, what is scale out, and right now what people are using. So in your college we have your courses there for cloud. Okay, so then there you can see that how we can use cloud for storing databases. Okay, so then you can understand these concepts, and if you take data mining, then we will show you that how to use distributed database system. So their algorithms are fully different. So okay, up to this, any other issues, any other questions? So you can ask, no problem. So today's class is not like this. I will only tell. You can ask anything. Okay, fine. So up to this, okay. So this is not important slides. This is important slide. So first one is we have 4 types of NoSQL databases. I have already told you. 3 types are popular and 1 type is not popular. I will tell you. So this one is very popular. That is key value store. So first of all, I want to ask, do you have any idea about Hadoop? Do you know about Hadoop? Those who know, they know what is key value pair. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, you don't know, you will know. That's not a problem. So key value pair means for storing each value, we will maintain a key. And the key for each pair should be unique. So I am giving you one example. Say Raghav, this name is very common. Think about this name. Raghav is very common. Now, Raghav can be a student of Bennett University and Raghav can be a student of, say, Shiv Nadar University. Say. So when I want to store this name Raghav, this is my value, right? So I have to maintain a key with this. So what I will take Bennett and Shiv Nadar. So this will be my key and the value can be same. The value can be Raghav. Now the problem is when I want to retrieve the data. Okay, first of all, I will look for the key. And when the key will match, I will look for the values. Okay, so here we will store two things. One is key, one is value. You may ask that here we are wasting memory. We are just storing huge amount of thing. For storing 5 thing, right now I have to store 10 thing. Why? Because for each value one key will come. But the good thing here, the searching policy in the search will be easier. So it will take less time. So that's why key value pair has been developed. So for insert, you have to take key value. For delete, you can use only key. Value will be deleted automatically. For update, you have to go for key value. And for lookup, just to retrieve, you can go for keys. Okay, so this is the concept of key value. What are the important NoSQL present here? One is DynamoDB. This is important. Then Kai, LSM. These are important. And I don't know about others. There are so many. Okay, so you can go here. NoSQL. So I have given also the link nosqldatabase.org, dbengines.com or Wikipedia. From here you can search all of these things. Okay, basically it's very difficult to tell all of this. Nobody knows, I think. Okay, so people are using what they need. So for if you want to store tree, the best one is big tree. So this is the best one. If you want to store table, you can go for big tables. So these are the important ones. Okay. The next one is white column. So I have already told you why one NoSQL is not so popular, and that is white column. So white column is not popular. So for white column, you can get Bigtable, you can get HBase, you can get Kai. So these are the important ones for white column store, but it is not popular. But I will show you how to store data here. So for storing any particular row, you should have one row key or row ID. Now for the huge data, you can divide it like this: personal data, professional data. Okay, so you are not storing each column. For whole of this, you are taking it as personal data. For whole of this, you are taking it as professional data. So your column families should be row key, personal data, professional data. So there will be 3 columns, right? Within each column, there should be column qualifiers. So for personal data, these will be your column qualifiers. For professional data, these will be your column qualifiers. So how to store data here? Okay, before that, I want to show you this one. So we have told about you unpredictability. So after 2 years, if medical students come, what you will do? So see, here we don't have any predefined schema. So professional data here consists of job category, salary, date of hire, employer. Here professional data consists of job category, yeah, it is repeating. Employer, it is repeating. But hourly rate, a new thing is come. You can store here. Salary not present here, no problem. You will not store. So this type of flexibility relational database will not give you, but white column store will give you. So see here, you are storing job category, salary, employer, group, seniority, building, office, and so on. So it can store each and everything. So here it is not predefined. right? So this is the advantage, but white column store is not popular. How to store the data? So this is the thing. Last name came for 2 rows, so I will store 2 data here. Job category came for 3 rows, so I will store 3 cards here. Salary came for 4 rows, so I will store 4 cards here, and like this. Okay, and this T0 T1 is showing your data number. So this is T0, this is T1, this is T2, this is T3, and so on. But this thing is not so much popular, white column. Then come to this one, it is very popular. This is known as graph store. So what are you doing in graph store? First of all, what are the examples? Most important example is Hypergraph DB, Neo4j. Okay, these are the important examples of graph store. So what you can do here, just see the example. For 2 people, Alice and Bob, I am storing 2 nodes, and they are associated with one group, that is chess. So I am storing a node which is chess. Now how will I connect these nodes with some edges? Edges will give you the relationship among the nodes. So think about from when Alice knows Bob's, from 2001 1003. So from when Bob is the member of the chess group, 2011 02 14, from this date. So actually what we are doing here, we are directly not store the whole data. We are maintaining one graph. Data will be stored in another place, and here we will maintain a graph. So through this graph, I will get all the data. Okay, so I am storing the data in some other portion, and I am storing a huge graph. Graph will give me the relationship among the data. When I want to get the whole data, first of all I will fetch the graph. From the graph I will get the relationship among data. So this is very popular thing, graph store. Okay, so this is very popular thing. I am giving you a one real life example. So in India, we have stored Aadhaar card data. So we have stored your name, your father's name, mother's name, address, your biometric, your bed image. We have stored this thing for Aadhaar card. So how to store this? So Indian government have given this thing, have taken this opportunity. They have given one company. They have stored this huge thing through graph store method. Okay, so graph store method is hugely popular. When you want to store any unstructured data, first thing you should look for, this is graph store. Okay, Hypergraph you can take, Neo4j you can take. These are the very good database store. These are the very good options for graph storage. Fine. The last one is document store. Okay, so the last one for document storing. So what is the meaning of document store? So already Raghav have told that you have submitted your 12th mark sheet. How to store? Okay, so I have given you example. I want to store newspapers. How will I store? So to store any document, you should use document store. So again, I want to give you one real life example. Do you know about digital locker Indian government have taken? Digital locker, I think you know. So those who have come from ICSE, CBSE background, their certificate is stored in digital locker, right? So most of you know about digital locker. So digital locker is using this mechanism, that is document storing. Okay. The last one have asked me that how to store data. Only JSON is the option. So here is the answer. No, not JSON is the option. You can go for PDF, XML, JSON, Boson, plain text, binary, scanned image. You can use anything. But MongoDB will give you option for JSON. Okay. So, and XML. Yeah. So it will give you option for XML and JSON. So these are most popular, and when I have used this through JSON. Okay. So up to this, do you have any question? Otherwise, we will directly go to MongoDB. So up to this, do you have any question? So theoretical part is gone. Okay. So no more theory. We will right now see how to install MongoDB and how to make some easy programs through MongoDB. So up to this, do you have any question? Any question you can ask. No, I think. Okay, so fine. So we can go to MongoDB. Are you online? Just give me or just say this. Are you online or I am just?
Yes, sir, online है सर.
Yes, sir.
Online, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर
Fine,
इसमें
fine.
वो करो ना MongoDB में फ्री वाला
हाँ
सर्वर.
हाँ ठीक है fine. So it's very boring to make online classes for students only and for teachers only. So we are not getting your, I am not seeing your face. I don't know you are listening or not. So it is feeling like I am just teaching this computer screen. I don't know. So fine, let's go ahead. So how to install MongoDB? It is important. And one thing I will recommend all of you, here I have written all these small details for you. What you can do right now, it is not needed for you. Why? Because it will not come to your exam. You don't have to do project with MongoDB. So what you should do, you should store this PPT for you. I know after 2 years you will need this. Basically, you will need this. Then just try to open this PPT. It will help you. I have written each and every minute details here just to give you the whole idea. So let's start. So first of all, you have to go to mongodb.com. So you can ask me why we have chosen MongoDB, because I am comfortable with MongoDB and it is most popular. So you can take anything, but to show you graph databases, I have worked in graph databases. It is difficult to understand. You have some knowledge about graph theory. Otherwise, you can't manage each and everything. Document store, MongoDB, it is very easy to understand because the syntax is similar to SQL, fully similar to SQL. Okay, that is one easier thing. And the second one, here you will get manual. So I have given you the link in the PPT. I will show you. I have given you all the link of manuals. So you can download the manuals. Then also your concept will be clear. Okay. So first of all, that's why we have chosen MongoDB. So first of all, go to mongodb.com. Now click on software. These options will come. You have to click on community server. It is free. Enterprise server is not free. Developer tools you don't need. If you want to connect it with any front end or with any other languages, then you need developer tools. And Compass is fully free. Okay, Compass is GUI, graphical user interface. You can use Compass or you can use command prompt. So I prefer, basically personally I prefer command prompt because Compass is little bit complicated to use, I can tell you. So this will come free and you can install this, but try to install whole MongoDB through command prompt shell script. I will show you. So you have clicked on community server, then click on download. Here it is. So just click on download. So just click on download and download will be started. Fine. When download will complete, you will get .msi file. Okay. Install the complete version. Don't go for custom version, then you can't handle. Install MongoDB as service. It is by default option. Don't play with this. Otherwise, at the yes.
Sir, don't do this, right? Let's do it via API, na?
Which one? Tell me again.
Sir, in Mongo use API, Atlas API.
Yes,
so
yes.
you can by default use a server which is free of cost. So please teach us that.
No. For if you want to use it in Linux also, the server is not free of. Server is not free.
No, sir. Sir, MongoDB Atlas is free of cost.
MongoDB, which one?
Sir, on Google write MongoDB Atlas, ATLAS.
Okay. Got this. Yes.
Yeah, so it's free of cost. So please teach us that because it's a cloud-based application, so it would be more helpful for us.
Yes sir, कोई download भी नहीं करना पड़ता फिर.
Yeah.
Yes, and also we can, like integrate it through all the platforms, like even on Android if we want, or our multiple websites. So please teach us that. Don't teach us this.
I know your concern. I got your concern. The thing is that there you can't use this type of simple syntax. Two things you have to understand. One is, okay, I got your point. First of all, I thought about some different things. Right now, I got your point. First one is you have a separated course for cloud. You have one. So there you will learn this first of all. Second thing is this, when you want to map this with SQL, so you have learned about MySQL or SQL, you have learned about this. When you want to map this, then that one will not help you. Then only this one, the standalone version, will show you the whole thing. Okay, basically what my PhD project is on cloud. But the problem is that there you can't map this SQL statement. So here, as per the syllabus, what I want to show you, how to create database. There you can use you can create database by default. Okay. How to create your own collection? Collection means table. So there you don't have to do this. So when I try to map SQL with MongoDB, then this is the only option I know. I know this is the only option. That's why I have made this. But if you need this, I will show you. But not in the class. Any day you can come. So I will share my screen and I will show you. Definitely I will show you. But for cloud, I think we should wait for the that particular subject. I think it is in your third year, right?
Sir, not cloud, sir. API, application programming. API, sir. Sir, it's not cloud. It's like, it's not basically cloud. You don't have to host anything. It's like you use Mongo as the same context, but you use it via an API. So we want to learn that thing.
Okay, so next Thursday I can show you. Right now, how can I show you? So I have to
sir,
go
next
there.
Thursday works.
Yes, next Thursday we can show. I am telling you, I have done project on this. It will not similar. Okay, it is not similar. If you have time, I know this week is very hectic for you, but if you get time, I will show you. Just try to go there, just try to start some work, then you will understand these things are not similar. Okay, so if you want to know the similar thing, what is similar with SQL, you will get this one only. So I know about API version, because if you want to work in Android, so if you want to make any application program, you should go through this. But the problem is you can't map this. That is the only problem. So if you have interest, I don't have any problem. So next Thursday we can go with this. So next Thursday is stored for your project. So you can do project, and those who have interest in this, I can share my screen and I can show what we can do. Okay. It is fine. Is it fine, Raghav? So I think he is not there. Fine. So the thing is that,
सर एक बारी वाइवा का बता दो सर, क्लास एंड ही होने वाली है तो।
वाइवा का एक इसके साथ तो कोई रिलेशन तो है नहीं। एक 10 मिनट मुझे और दो, उसके बाद मैं बोल दूंगा आपको। जस्ट गिव मी 10 मिनट्स। ओके, just try to finish this. Okay, we have 6-7 slides more. Within this we will complete. So those who want to know this, they should get an opportunity. It is directly, you can map directly with SQL. This is similar to SQL. So first of all, you can install MongoDB as service. Keep data dictionary and log directory as it is. Don't hamper this. Then install MongoDB Compass. Okay, so MongoDB Compass is the GUI, and wait for installation to finish. The installation will be finished, right? Now the problem came. So what he is telling about, there you don't have to do anything. In API you don't have to do anything. Each and everything is given to you. You have to just use there. But for this option, what we have shown you, it is much more complicated. Okay, so here what you have to do, those who know Java, they know. Here you have to set the environment variables. So I think all of you know about this. So I am not going into that details. What you have to do, you have to go to the environment variables, then system variables, then you have to add the path. So path means from program files to bin. Just copy this and save this. So I think you have done this similar thing for Java. So system properties will be stored. Now one extra thing you have to do, you have to go to C folder, then create data folder. Within data, create a DB folder. So this step you have to do manually, otherwise this one will not work. So these are the extra things you have to do. Okay, now you can run anything through command prompt. Okay, first thing you have to write, that is MongoD. So MongoD is the MongoDaemon. So Raghav and other students, two of your friends are asking for API version. The problem is that in API version, each and everything is given. So you don't know what is MongoD. So MongoD is the MongoDaemon. So first of all, you have to run MongoDaemon for you. MongoDaemon will run, it will show you success message. Just minimize this, because MongoDaemon should run parallelly, otherwise your program will not run. Okay, and open another command prompt and write Mongo. So Mongo is the Mongo shell. So this is Mongo daemon and this is Mongo shell. So in the Mongo shell, right now you can work. You can write any program. Okay. So these are also different. These will not work there. So their syntax is different. So I will show you next Thursday. I will definitely show you. So what you have to do here for making database. So it is similar to your MySQL. So we will try to map it through MySQL. So what you can do, first of all, show databases. So here the command is show DBS. Okay, so I haven't made these databases. These are by default database, admin config local. It will come and just look at this sign. This greater than sign will give you the idea that the shell script is running. So how to create new database? So you have to write use then database name. So you have to write use Bennett. So right now Bennett database will start working. So you are in Bennett database. Here you don't use this word table. Here the name is collection. So you have to create collections. Okay. So what you have to write? You have to write how to create collection. You have to write db.create collection, then collection name, that is table name. So db.create collection test table, it will give you the test table. It will create the collection for you. Here it is case sensitive. Create collection C should be capital, otherwise it will not work. Okay, these things are different. And here you don't need any semicolon like Python. It will take without semicolon. Right now I want to make another table or collection. So the name is another. So I will write use another. So database named another will come. So we have shifted or switched to DB another. Right now try to show the databases. So you can see admin, Bennett, config, local, all are there. But another is not there. So you can ask me question, why we have made the databases, but it is not visible because we haven't make any collection. So to show any database, you have to make the collection. Okay. So I will create one collection. So I will write db create collection. Extra. So my collection name is extra. Collection means table. So my collection name is extra. Right now show DBS. It will show you all the databases. If I write db.drop database, so it will drop the database. See, show database will not show you another. It will show you admin, Bennett, config, local, but it will not show you another. Why? Because we have dropped the database. So this thing you can directly map to SQL. So in MySQL you have learned this thing in first 2 or 3 slides. So this is the thing. Now, how to show collection or how to show table? The syntax is show collections. Okay, it will show you the collections test table. So for delete, what is the syntax? db.collectionName.drop. So I have written db.testTable.drop. It will drop the collection. So it will drop the test table. Okay. Now there is different options to insert data within this table or collections. So first option is insert one. So this is the syntax, insert one. So you have to write db.testTable.insert1, Within that, I have already told you have to write through JSON. So JSON syntax. So ID is to 1, name is to ABC, department is to CSE, like this. So here you will see it will give you acknowledgement and it will create one object ID for each function. For each function it will create one object ID. So see here object ID is 594. Here object ID is 595. Here object ID is 596 and so on. Okay. So insert one. This option will give you for inserting one row. But how to insert many rows? So the next thing is how to insert many rows. So the syntax should be like this. Within first bracket you have to take third bracket. Within that you have to take second bracket. So from the Java knowledge, can you tell me what is this? Within third bracket we are passing different second brackets. So can you tell me from Java knowledge what is this? So can you tell me what is this? This is nobody. So this is array of objects. So I have waited, nobody responds. So this is array of objects. Just remember these things. These are very, very important. So these are array of objects. So JSON or NoSQL will take array of objects. So you have to remember this thing. So ID1 name ABC department CSE, ID2 name PQR department CSE, like this. So I am taking some objects and in one array. So it will acknowledge you and it will give you object ID. So you have inserted, first of all you have created database, you have created tables. Here the name is collection. You have inserted some data within these collections. Up to this it's okay. Now you want to retrieve the data. So for retrieving, what is the commands? So for retrieving, the command is db.tablename.find. So you have to write db.tasktable.find. It will retrieve all the data. So two data we have stored. These two data will come. So now you have used where statement, right? So in MySQL you have used where statement. Select star from this where this thing should be matched, then the data will come. So how to write where statement here? So the option is db.tablename.find. Within that you have to give the attribute, which attribute you want to match, then dollar option is to value. So this is the syntax. So see how I have written. So db.tasktable.find ID. So I want to match the ID. Where? So here you can't write where. So you can't write dollar equal. So eq means equal to. So in this way you can write where statement. So which type of options are available? So these are the options. EQ for equal, GT for greater than, GT for greater than equal, in for in, and so on. How to get this whole documentation? I have already given you see here, the links are given. Okay, so you can find the details from the following website. So Then we will see how to delete, and I will show you a real life programming, a small programming. Then we will end our class. So within 5 minutes we will finish. So first of all, how to delete? So db.testable.delete many. So delete many option is there. Attribute is to value. So name equal to ABC. So this whole row will be deleted. Now see db.testable.find. You can find only one row because I have deleted the other row. So I haven't shown you, but I think you can cope up with this. The thing is how to update the table. So this is the syntax db.collection_name.update1. So to update many rows, you have to write db.collection.update_many. To replace some row, you have to write db.collection.replace1. So these are the syntax. So last 2 slides remaining. I want to show you one real life application. Up to this I have written each and everything. But from now on these 2 slides I have copied from where the source is given. So this is one real life example I want to show you. Then you can understand how this is fast. So this is one MapReduce example. Those who worked through Hadoop, they can do MapReduce example. These are basically used for big data programming. Okay, for Hadoop programming, we have used MapReduce programs. So here we will show you a toy example. Here data is not big, but this type of programming is beneficial when you are doing big data programming. In Hadoop, we will use MapReduce. Now see the example, and we want to end our class. So the example looks like you have 4 data. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. See the customer ID A123, 123, 123, and here customer ID is B212. They have A means it is withdrawal and D means it is deposited. Okay, so A means withdrawal and D means deposited money. My job is to find the total amount that is withdrawal. So I will take only the A's, not the D. So I will not take this. I will take only the A's. Okay, the total money I want to today they have withdrawn. So here you have to run a query to make this table. Now we will go for MapReduce function. Map means to aggregate each and everything. So I have told you about key value pair. So here key is A123. That is key, and value 500 to 50. That is the value. B212 that is the key, and 200 that is the value. So here I want to map the whole thing. Map means aggregation through key value pair. So just remember this thing. In big data programming also you need these concepts. So map means map each and everything through key and value pair. So I have mapped this. Now you have to reduce. So reduce means you have to do a calculation, or you can do any computation. So reduce means you have to reduce the whole data. So here we are reducing. So here 500 plus 250, 750. Here 200 means 200. So this is the whole thing. Okay. Now with one line code, we can solve it in NoSQL. Okay, so with one line code, we can solve it in NoSQL. So how to write this? First of all, you have to make the whole table. So this is my table. Use mapdb. So I have make a database. db.create collection. So I want to make the table. My table name is cast. Okay. Now I want to insert data. So I will write db.cast.insert many. So within this, I have inserted lot of data. Lot of data means this data. Okay. So I will get the acknowledged message. Now with one line code, how to write map reduce programming. That's why it is known as fast programming. So how to write? So see here, db.cast, the collection name, dot aggregate. So I want to run aggregate function. Dollar match equal is to status should be A. So I want to match those data where status equal to A. Okay, so your query part is done. Now we will go to the map part, then we will go to the reduce part. First of all, you have to map with some key value pair. I have told, so you have to take the key, right? So for mapping, see what I am doing. Group ID is to $ID. So this is your map. So through customer ID, you want to map this data. Now you have to do reduce part. So we have written $sum is to $amount. So I want to summation. These syntax are given in the manual. So you can take it from the manual. Okay. So sum, then amount. So it will sum the whole amount. Through which? Through this ID. So this is query, this is map, this is reduce. So through one line code, you can solve any map reduce programs which are not possible in SQL. In SQL, it should be 3-line query. First of all query, then map, then reduce. But here you can solve it through one line. So this is the answer. So these are the important references. So for the theoretical part, you can go here. This is very important part. And for manual, only for MongoDB. So I can show you graphics also because I have used. So for MongoDB graphics, for these manuals are available. For new NoSQLs, there are no manuals. So you have to run and then you have to learn.